Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto was Atlantis in Justice League. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by PROPHET 666 and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. Chapter 1. Year 1941, London. A loud boom was heard throughout London as its citizens ran for cover, fearing that the Germans had launched an air raid again. But when a follow-up attack never happened, they searched the skies for any German aircraft flying over them. Only clear sky greeted them, seeing as they weren't under attack, the civilians returned to their work. Outskirts of London. Two soldiers who were stationed near the outskirts rushed to the explosion. After the fire around it died down, there was thick white smoke still surrounding the spot when a policeman stepped out of the now identified blue burning police box while covering his face. Seeing as it was a fellow law enforcement officers, they lowered their weapons and guided the man to safety. "What happened, mate?" one of the soldiers asked. "Did you accidentally blow a bunch of dynamites or something?" The policeman straightened himself after he drank few gulps of water offered to him by the other soldier. "Something like that," the policeman replied while staring intently at them. "Should be more careful with that stuff," the soldier replied. "One of my buddies lost his entire arm in a similar accident." The policeman turned around to the police box and started to walk towards it. "The chameleon circuits are still operational," the policeman muttered to himself, "and by the looks of it, the translation matrix is still intact." "Did you hit your head, mate? You are talking nonsense." "What am I wearing?" the policeman suddenly asked. "Their police uniform, of course." The soldier replied. "You should really sit down and rest for a moment, the explosion was really big, it probably gave you a concussion or something." "Perception filters are working as well," the policeman muttered back as he walked back to the police box. "Hey mate. It's dangerous to go back in there," the soldier exclaimed as he held the policeman's shoulder to stop him from moving forward. The policeman turned back, his blue eyes turning red as he peered into both of their eyes. The soldier dropped his hand from the policeman's shoulder and stood still, almost like he was in a trance, the other soldier doing the same. The policeman walked back to the police box and laid a hand on it and closed his eyes, though it seemed to be burning, the heat didn't seem to discomfort him. "The engines are a bit damaged, but it's nothing I can't fix," the policeman muttered to himself, though traveling here has exhausted the power source. "That has never happened before," the man exhaled sadly as he slid his back across the burning police box and sat down. "I can't fix you without a proper power source. The way you are right now, I can't even enter you." After a few minutes, the policeman suddenly stood up and placed his palm on the police box again. "I'll save you, no matter what, but for now you must go to sleep. I'll take a small part of you with me, so you don't get lonely," the man spoke as a black object suddenly appeared in his palm, passing straight through the wood of the burning police box. With that, he turned around and faced the two soldiers who were still standing aimlessly. "Tell me everything," the policeman commanded as his eyes glowed red again. Present day. A tall man dressed in an expensive-looking black suit exited a black Rolls-Royce and did a little stretch as he muttered, "Damn, these charity events are such a drag, I hate those ass-kissing bastards," he sighed. At least the food was good. As he moved away from the car, a blue blur rushed suddenly past him, nearly destroying the Rolls-Royce, and crashed into a nearby building. "The hell?" the man cursed as he quickly went to check on the driver. "Are you alright?" the man asked. Seeing his driver nod, he instructed him to take the car back to his mansion. Following the destruction, the man came to a halt near an abandoned building, where he saw a man dressed in a bat's costume being imprisoned in a strange green-colored energy construct as the other man, dressed in some sort of green uniform, entered through a hole made by the blue blur. "Batman," the man called out in surprise and came to a halt near the green prison. "What the hell are you doing here?" Before the man dressed as a bat could reply, the green-clad man from before came crashing through a wall and smashed right into Batman, then proceeded to crash into a nearby fuel truck, blowing it to smithereens. "Lantern, are you alright?" Batman exclaimed. He got no reply from him. Before Batman could go to help him, the blue blur from before returned and smashed him to a wall. "So, what can you do?" the blue blur, now revealed to be Superman, asked mockingly. Batman cut off the cape bunched in Superman's hand using his batarang and leapt off of him while throwing several smoke bombs to block his vision and hid behind a nearby wall. "I can still see you," the Man of Steel spoke as his eyes glowed white in the black smoke and flew directly towards Batman. Batman tried to use his grappling hook to gain some distance between them, but Superman, with his incredible speed, caught the grappling hook before it could even reach the nearby building and crushed it in his hand. "The creature that attacked me had one of those boxes you have," Superman said, pointing to the golden box held in Batman's arm. Batman jumped back and threw his batarangs at Superman. They exploded as soon as they touched him, but the explosion didn't seem to have even scratched Superman's clothing. The creature blew up. So I'll ask you instead, Superman continued, ignoring the explosion altogether. His eyes glowed red as he continued, this is your last chance. Batman instead used another of his grappling hook and scaled a nearby build. Using his heat vision, Superman began to attack Batman, all the while destroying several buildings in his way. That's enough. The man in the suit finally shouted as he walked towards Superman, this is my final warning, stand down, I won't repeat myself, the man threatened Superman looking straight into his eyes. Naruto Uzumaki. Superman exclaimed, he of course knew who the man was, the jet black hair and the deep crimson eyes were dead giveaway, not many people in this world had red eyes like Naruto, he had also written an article on him as the editor of the Daily Planet, so he was familiar with him. In the flesh Naruto replied as he folded his arms. What are you doing here? It was Batman who questioned him, I thought you were meeting the president. That was a secret meeting decided over an encrypted connection, no one should know about that Naruto replied, how did you know about it? I have my ways Batman replied vaguely. The meeting got cancelled Naruto replied after a few seconds of staring down Batman as he fixed his white tie, apparently he was scheduled to meet Wonder Woman and forgot to mention it to me, since I was in the city I decided to attend a fundraiser my company was hosting here in Metropolis. I was just taking a breather when this guy here almost destroyed my $40 million, Rolls-Royce Naruto continued pointing at the embarrassed Superman. Taking a deep breath, he calmed himself down, anyway, why are you guys tearing up my property in the middle of the night? Your property? Superman questioned to which Naruto pointed at the enormous advertisement board reading Abstergo Industries. Before Superman could reply, Green Lantern suddenly rushed at Superman from behind, his power ring constructing an enormous fist to punch him. However, before the fist could hit Superman, Naruto stepped forward and punched it himself, shattering the green construct on impact. As Green Lantern picked himself up, Batman noticed Naruto's suit morph away from his hand. Nanotech? Batman asked as he pointed towards the black suit. State-of-the-art Naruto replied proudly as he morphed the suit to cover his arms again, it augments my physical abilities amongst other things he explained, what good is all the money in the bank if you aren't using it to better yourself? Naruto finished as he gave a small smirk at Batman. You've made your point Batman replied, he understood the underlying message that Naruto knew he was the billionaire Bruce Wayne. Hey, what happened? Green Lantern landed near them, we're done fighting. Ignoring him, Batman continued, we think it's alien as he held up a golden box in his hand. Well, it's not Kryptonian Superman replied. Alien is a relative term Naruto replied, the universe is enormous, you can't bunch it all together. It was worth a shot Batman replied, do you have any idea what this is then, Mr. 20 Doctorates? As he was about to hand the device to Naruto, a bright spotlight was suddenly shined on them by the police helicopters above. Let's move away for now, Batman suggested as he entered a nearby sewage duct. I could have explained the situation to them Naruto grumbled, why did we have to run into smelly sewers? The three of you could have gotten away, but I wouldn't have been so lucky Batman replied. Such is the life of a vigilante Naruto replied as they started to run through sewers, while Batman briefed them on what he has found till now. Someone is strategically placing these boxes. We have to find out who it is and why they are doing this before it's too late. Batman explained as they entered an abandoned warehouse. Well, let's find out what this is then Naruto replied as he took the box from Batman. Good luck with that Green Lantern replied, even my ring couldn't identify what that box is, and my ring knows everything the Guardians know, and the Guardians know everything. It seems to be a sentient supercomputer Naruto replied as a laser from a device in his sleeve scanned the box, it is broadcasting a signal to someone in deep space, several such broadcasting signals are emitting from Central City, Coast City, Gotham, and Metropolis. If I had to take a guess I'd say it is talking to someone. The creatures that you mentioned earlier, their behavior suggests that they are soldiers, expendable soldiers at that since they sacrificed themselves to keep this device safe. If what I have hypothesized from this situation is true, then Earth may be in great danger. What is the purpose of this device then? Green Lantern asked, besides communication I mean still unclear of the purpose of the box. I'll explain it in simple words Naruto replied, if my understanding of this device is correct, which it is, then that box is a wormhole generator which will connect our planet to another planet, where an army of those creatures are preparing to attack us. In short, we might be staring down the barrel of a full-scale invasion. I agree Batman agreed, I too came to the same conclusion. That's a bit paranoid Green Lantern replied, let's just crack it open and see what happens as his ring created a hammer to bust open the box, but Batman stopped him. Without any idea on what's inside, trying to destroy it is quite idiotic Batman pointed out. I agree Naruto replied, for all we know it could also be a bomb. Suddenly the golden box started buzzing and emitting a bright white light. Ah, Green Lantern exclaimed in surprise, I didn't touch it. It's activating. Move it away from us. Naruto exclaimed as he jumped back to gain some distance, Batman doing the same. The metallic box suddenly began to morph into a ring-like structure with some type of vortex being spun inside it, and out came the same creatures that Batman and Superman had encountered before. Green Lantern was the first to react as he flew towards the portal and started to destroy the creatures using his ring constructs, Superman joining in too with his heat vision. Batman quickly became overrun by the creatures, but a timely intervention from Naruto saved him. Removing the white tie from his neck, Naruto whipped it to the side, the nanotic in his suit, transforming it into a white sword. With a single slash he destroyed all the demon-looking creatures swarming Batman. "You're welcome," Naruto spoke as he started to kill all the demons nearby. Using his ring to create an enormous robot, Green Lantern started to fire off several missiles and bombs, killing most of the demons coming out of the portal. Landing on the shoulder of the construct, Batman asked, "Still think I was being paranoid?" "Maybe a little less now," Green Lantern commented. "We need to close that portal else we will get overwhelmed," Naruto yelled as he fought off the creatures trying to escape the warehouse. "And how do we do that?" Batman asked as grappled near him. "I have already thought of a way we could accomplish that," Naruto replied, "but even then I'll need an enormous amount of energy and a few hours to get the device ready, but seeing that this isn't an isolated incident, I don't think I'll be able to prepare something in time." "We need to take a step back and regroup," Batman suggested as the demons started escaping the warehouse. "There's too many of them to barrel through." "Alright," Naruto exclaimed, "get back, I'll blow up the warehouse to reduce their numbers." Batman and Green Lantern quickly flew to him as Naruto's suit began to morph into a futuristic gun. "Wait. Superman's still in there," Green Lantern exclaimed. "Don't worry, I saw him leave through the roof. There's been an emergency at the White House. He's probably going there," Naruto replied as he pulled the trigger. An enormous shock wave exploded from the gun's barrel, shooting out a giant wave of plasma that pulverized everything in its path as it reached out in the ocean and continued further. "Damn," Green Lantern whistled as saw the aftermath of the attack. "It's a one-shot weapon for emergencies," Naruto supplied as the gun began to transform back into his suit. "It'll take some time for the suit to recharge, till then, I'll be of very little help." "You've helped enough," Green Lantern replied, "let the big boys handle the situation now." As Naruto and Batman cleared up the remaining demons, several more portals suddenly opened up in the sky, with hundreds of the demons swarming out of them. "We can't handle so many of them," Batman commented as he threw several bombs into the approaching swarm. "Don't worry," Naruto replied, "I've called in for backup, he should be arriving any second now." No sooner he spoke, a spaceship suddenly entered the atmosphere and cleared the skies of the invading creatures. A lone man jumped out of the ship and landed near Naruto. He was dressed in black armor with gold and red lines running throughout the chest, arms and legs. The man removed the mask covering his face and was revealed to be Naruto, only this Naruto had blonde hair and cold blue eyes. "Brother," Naruto exclaimed as he went in for a hug but got punched in the face instead. "I didn't know you had twin brother," Batman commented. "It's complicated," Naruto replied as he stood up and started to explain the situation to his brother. A loud yell from the distance distracted them as they saw a woman dressed in red-blue armor tear through the remaining demons with ease and approach them. "Greetings, warriors." The woman greeted, "I am Diana of Themyscira, also known as Wonder Woman amongst the mortals." Naruto, his brother, Batman, and the recently arrived Flash stood silently as Green Lantern whispered dibs and approached Diana. But, before he could say anything, Superman suddenly appeared between the two and with a single look silenced Green Lantern's advances. "Wait. I know you." Green Lantern suddenly exclaimed as he got a proper look at the armor Naruto's brother was wearing. He then powered up his ring and pointed it towards him. "You're Kurama," he exclaimed. "He is a bloodthirsty mercenary who has destroyed several planets and killed billions of people." "Ah." A Green Lantern Kurama spoke in a sarcastic voice as he approached Hal Jordan with a smirk and examined him closely. "You are so weak." Kurama exclaimed with a loud laugh, "You seem to have recently gained the power ring and are very inexperienced using it." He commented, "I have a message I want you to pass on." He continued as he reached into his pocket and threw several of the Green Lantern rings, similar to the one currently worn by Hal himself, with the fingers still attached to the rings. "Tell your people to send someone strong next time," Kurama commented with a devious smirk. "Squashing ants gets boring after some time." "You." Green Lantern yelled in rage and created an enormous sword with his ring and slashed it down at Kurama, who still had a smirk on his face. As the dust from the attack settled, Kurama was seen holding the enormous blade at bay, with only his index finger. The green color of the blade slowly began to change to black as Kurama now held it firmly in his hand. "I've killed Green Lanterns far stronger than you," he snidely commented. "What made you think you had any chance?" By now the black color had started to spread towards Hal's ring, and just as it was about to touch it, Wonder Woman stepped forward and firmly grabbed Kurama's shoulder. "That's enough," she declared. Turning his head to face her, Kurama began, "It's enough when I say it's enough," and slashed a black sword which had magically appeared in his hand at Wonder Woman's arm, intending to cut it off. Dashing forward, Superman caught the sword on his forearm and was surprised to see a drop of blood trickle down from the wound. "Interesting," Kurama muttered as he raised a finger and pointed it at Superman. A black magic circle manifested itself near Superman's chest, and an invisible force suddenly launched him in the distance. Superman returned seconds later, his eyes glowing red as he prepared to use his head vision. "Okay," Naruto finally intervened, "that's enough, you've had your fun." Seeing that Kurama was still not backing down, Naruto continued, "Or do you want me to get involved?" That seemed to finally make him back off. Seeing that everyone had somewhat calmed down, though Green Lantern was still seething, but the Flash stopped him from escalating the fight, Naruto started, "Do you know what they are?" Pointing at the dead creatures littering the streets. Yes, Kurama nodded, "They are known as." An explosion diverted their attention to the large humanoid object who had just crashed on the streets. "I'll take care of it." Wonder Woman exclaimed and was about to attack it, but Naruto stopped her. "He's a human," Naruto commented, "at least half human according to my scans." "I can vouch for him," Flash intervened as he realized who it was that had crashed into the streets. "I met him at Star Labs." Another man descended from the skies, dressed in a red superhero costume with a white cape. "Hey there. What's up?" "I'm Shazam," the man introduced himself. "I'm with him," he continued as he pointed at the metal-encased man. "He's not with me," the man clarified. "Who are you anyway?" Green Lantern asked. "Who I am is not important," the man replied, "but what I know is." "Which is?" Batman asked. "I've talked to their technology. I know their plan," the man informed. "They plan to terraform the Earth." "That's what they do," Kurama informed. "I've fought these creatures a couple of times. They are called parademons. They are the mindless army of Darkseid, the ruler of Apocalypse." "Have you fought him before?" Batman inquired. "Yes, unfortunately," Kurama replied. "He is strong, extremely strong. I had to retreat before he could do any real damage, but the planet I was on wasn't so lucky. It got terraformed with all of its inhabitants turned into parademons." Suddenly, the ground began to shake as several metallic towers began to emerge. "It's about to get ugly," Kurama informed as he got ready for a fight. "We could leave this planet, you know," he whispered to Naruto. "There is nothing of importance here." "Not for you," Naruto replied, "but there are a lot of important things here for me, and I am not ready to give it up without a fight." Kurama sighed, "I still think we should take the ship and bail this planet. Getting involved with Darkseid has never ended happily for anyone." "Let's move," Batman commanded as the towers opened up and hundreds of parademons came rushing out. "We're too late." Cyborg informed, "Darkseid is here." Chapter 2. Normal conversation. Internal dialogues. "I'm guessing that's the bad guy." Green Lantern commented as he pointed at the large humanoid creature floating above the ocean and slowly making his way towards the city. "What's gotten you all riled up?" Batman asked, seeing Naruto's shocked expression. "I know," Kurama commented as he stood beside Naruto. "I had the same expression when I faced him for the first time." "Such a malevolent presence," Naruto replied, his red eyes opening wide in shock as his body shook a little. Even though Darkseid was not actively flaring his power, it was merely his overwhelming presence that had Naruto rooted in place. A presence seeped in such evil, malice, and cruelty that it froze Naruto where he stood, devoid of any expression. "It's astounding." "Why is he trembling so much?" Superman asked, pointing at Naruto. "He doesn't look that tough to me." "You are a creature of a lower dimension, as such, you can't sense the raw power Darkseid possesses," Kurama answered. "You should consider yourself lucky that you can't sense his strength. Besides, he is not trembling in fear." Kurama pointed towards Naruto, whose face was now twitching uncontrollably as he attempted to control his true emotions. As Kurama spoke, a squad of F-35 multi-role combat fighter jets dove from the clouds and locked their weapons on Darkseid's imposing form, unleashing their payload of missiles at the new god and flying past him. Thunderous shockwaves of exploding missiles filled the skies and echoed throughout the city. The bank of heavy smoke concealed Darkseid's form, but his glowing red eyes were still visible as the smoke parted and Darkseid continued to fly forward at the same leisurely pace as before, revealing himself to be completely unharmed, not even a scratch on his blue armor. His eyes suddenly glowed a deep red as two beams of brilliant crimson energy shot forth, zigzagging at right angles in a plethora of seemingly random directions, too fast for an unaugmented eye to follow save for the bright red trails that the beams left behind. The two beams suddenly veered backwards in an unpredictable pattern and began to catch up with the three F-35 fighter jets with ridiculous ease. The pilots tried to shake them off by banking to the sides, but the laser beams merely corrected their course, twisting and turning before separating and pursuing their targets independently. Before the pilots could even hope to react, the twin beams of destruction caught up to them at an unexpected angle and burned a massive hole clean through each of the three fighter jets. A second later, the three military aircraft blossomed into a trio of thunderous fiery explosions, leaving their scattered debris to fall into the sea without any survivors. It was over in seconds, and not once did Darkseid ever look back over his shoulders as he proceeded to the harbor unimpeded. No. Flash gasped in horror to Naruto's far left, the tragedy of what he had just witnessed getting to him. The others stood, equally horrified, but did not vocalize it, however, by the way they clenched their fists and tightened their jaws, their feelings on the matter were visible. Even had that not been the case, Kurama easily picked up on their horrified shock and grief. Truly astounding, Naruto repeated, he had a manic expression on his face, no longer trying to hide his true feeling. A sudden slap on the back by Kurama broke him out of his stupor as he looked around at the surrounding heroes. As I was saying, he wasn't trembling in fear, but in excitement. Taking a deep breath to calm himself, Naruto began, we should get the civilians out of here first. Flash and Green Lantern will help with the evacuations. My brother and Shazam will take care of the parademons. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and I will face Darkseid and try to keep him from entering the harbor. We should avoid causing further collateral damage than we already have. What about me? Victor Stonaka Cyborg asked. You possess the same technology as Darkseid, try to hack into it and see if you can reverse these boom tubes and send these parademons back to Apocalypse, Naruto replied. Everyone agreed to the plan, and though Green Lantern tried to protest, Flash quickly pulled him away from the others. You may not have noticed, Batman started as he approached Naruto, but you and I are normal humans, I don't think we would be of much use in a direct confrontation against Darkseid. I got that covered, Naruto replied as he nodded towards Kurama, who sighed in resignation and conjured several red magic circles around Naruto and Batman and began to weave through hand seals. What's he doing? Superman asked as he approached Naruto and stopped at the edge of the magic circle, Wonder Woman doing the same. My brother is a master of the mystic arts, Naruto replied. Right now, he is reinforcing and augmenting our bodies with protection and other spells so that we don't get one-shotted by Darkseid when we face him in combat. Superman hummed as he observed the process, can you use magic as well? Naruto shook his head, I don't have much affinity to it. Where did he learn all of this? This time it was Batman who asked the question. It's done, Kurama interrupted as he clapped his hands, all the various spells and magic circles floating in the air converged towards the two and seeped into their body, it'll hold for about an hour, depending on the amount of damage you take. Naruto nodded as he thanked Kurama. Let's go, Naruto called out as he unexpectedly started to fly towards Darkseid. Superman and Wonder Woman followed suit. Interesting, Batman muttered as he observed the spells glowing dimly on his body, then leapt in the air and began to fly as well. So, how should we proceed? Superman asked as he flew towards Darkseid. Since we have no information on his strength or powers, I think you and Wonder Woman should face him head-on and get a better idea of his capabilities. I believe the two of you are strong enough to keep him occupied, meanwhile Batman and I would support you while trying to come up with a strategy to neutralize him. You're surprisingly well versed in combat strategies, Batman commented. Running $1 billion company will make you like that, Naruto replied, you should know, he finished with a small smirk. The group quickly reached Darkseid and blocked his path with Superman and Wonder Woman in the front, with Naruto and Batman following closely behind. I am Entropy, I am Death, I am Darkseid. Darkseid introduced himself, his hands folded over his chest, eyes glowing red, and a look of superiority on his impassive face. We are rich, Naruto retorted as he pointed toward himself and Batman, and they are powerful. Then it's Superman and Wonder Woman, now that we have assigned ourselves an adjective. Let's get to the matter at hand. Superman and Wonder Woman cracked a smile at the blatant disrespect of the new god. You have come here to terraform Earth, I can't allow you to do that, Naruto continued as he floated forward and came to a stop right in front of Darkseid, his eyes meeting the new gods with confidence. Darkseid was silent for a few seconds as he studied Naruto. You do not have the power to stop me, he replied as he unfolded his arm. Alone, I would definitely lose, Naruto replied as he extended his arm and pointed his index and middle finger at Darkseid's face, making a finger gun. Fortunately, I am not alone. He then brought his thumb down, making the motion of firing a gun. For a few seconds, nothing happened, then the sky began to rumble, and a golden light began to illuminate everywhere. Before Darkseid could react, a powerful yellow beam hit him from above and blasted him into the ocean below. Naruto smirked as he blew the non-existent smoke from his fingers. Why do I feel like that attack was meant for me? Superman retorted. Before Naruto could reply, he was blasted away by the twin red lasers coming out of the ocean, hurling him back toward the harbor. The water sizzled and vaporized as Darkseid emerged, his eyes glowing red, the armor around his chest and forearms had broken off, and both of his gray hands were charred black. There was a slight singe on his forehead from where the blast had initially hit him. Superman wasted no time as he dashed straight toward Darkseid and landed a heavy blow on his jaw, snapping his head to the right. Superman followed up with another punch, but it was easily dodged by Darkseid. The giant then snatched a blue cape and swung Superman at the fast-approaching Wonder Woman, making both of them crash into the ocean below. Noticing the red glow from Darkseid's eyes, Batman threw several batarangs at his face. The concussive force of the blast snapped the new god's neck to the side. Looking down at his glowing bat projectiles, Batman thought must be the magic Kurama enchanted me with. He knew his explosive batarangs did not have such power in them. Fortunately, Batman did not have to face Darkseid alone for longer as Wonder Woman shot out from the ocean, her sword pointed straight at the giant's heart, though she quickly had to abandon her attack and raise her arms in defense to block the red beams shot from Darkseid's eyes. But Kurama and Shazam. Kurama watched as he saw Naruto depart with the other heroes. "So, what's the plan?" Shazam asked as he floated towards Kurama. Kurama pointed toward the towers in the distance. "Well, Speedy and Greeny clear out the civilians. We should destroy those towers. They are gateways connecting Earth to Apocalypse, and as long as they are standing our chances of winning are slim." "Understood." Shazam replied as he flew towards the nearest tower, killing several parademons on his way. Kurama pressed a button on his forearm device and teleported himself to the top of his ship, which was floating in the sky above, invisible to the naked eye. Peering down at the chaos below, he thought clearing out the parademons individually will take a shit ton of time. Sitting down cross-legged, he closed his eyes and focused on the city below. "I always wanted to try this, but never had the opportunity." Kurama smirked as he started to go through several hand seals. The preparation took him several minutes, during which he sensed a massive buildup of energy in the clouds above. "You cheeky bastard." Kurama thought as a golden beam descended from the sky and hit its mark. "I can't be outdone by you." He thought as slammed his palms together and slowly pulled them apart to reveal a spherical mass of magic circles, rotating rapidly within the confines of his palms. Rotating his palms so that one was above the other, he brought them closer to his stomach and furrowed his eyebrows in concentration. As the seconds ticked by, the swirling mass of magic began to properly align themselves, no longer a messy sphere, but a proper magic circle with thousands of tiny circles moving around inside. With his spell ready, Kurama muttered the culling blade and gently closed his palms. But Flash and Green Lantern. Having evacuated the civilians, the two heroes were making quick work of the parademons with their speed and ring constructs, but were gaining no ground as the enemy was swarming them with their superior numbers. There was a brief lull in their battle when the golden beam descended from the sky. A huge majority of the parademons had retreated to return to their master. "We are being overwhelmed." Green Lantern exclaimed inside his huge robotic construct as he swung the giant sword in his hand. Several parademons had latched onto the construct's legs, keeping it grounded and mostly immobilized. "I know." Flash yelled back as he punched through several parademons at the foot of the green construct. Jumping on the shoulder of the construct, Flash remarked, "There is no end to them." Far in the distance he could see Shazam and Cyborg obliterating the parademons in scores, but even they were getting overwhelmed. Suddenly, black magic circles started to fill their vision, each circle positioned right behind the parademons. The circles moved along with their enemy, following them wherever they go. Within seconds, all the parademons in the city were marked with the magic seal. "What is happening?" Flash questioned as he caught his breath. Green Lantern floated towards him as he let go of his green construct. "It's probably that bastard Kurama," he retorted in disdain. Suddenly, the parademons began to fall from the skies as red swords began to emerge from the magic seals, stabbing them through their backs and into their hearts. "Well," Flash started as he stared at the carnage before him. "At least he is on our side." Back with Naruto. Pushing through the rubble he was buried under, Naruto stood up and dusted his suit. Most of the damage from the beams was redirected by Kurama's magic barrier, but the impact still roughed him up a little. "That was fun," Naruto muttered as he fixed his cufflink and stretched his neck. The parademons had surrounded him by now. He motioned with his finger as he got ready for the fight. As they began to close in on him they suddenly fell to the ground with red swords stabbing through their chests. He could see Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman holding their own against Darkseid, but neither was gaining any ground. Spotting Naruto from the sky, Flash, Green Lantern, Cyborg, and Shazam landed near him. Kurama teleported next to Naruto as well. "That was so cool, man." Shazam gushed. "1 second I was surrounded, and next the parademons started to fall like dead flies." Ignoring Shazam, Kurama asked what's the plan now as he watched the fight in the distance. "Any progress on closing the portals?" Naruto asked as he saw there were portals still open throughout the city, through which new waves of parademons were entering. "Darkseid is transferring data to the mother boxes, they are the ones creating these portals known as boom tubes," Cyborg explained. "I can connect to these boxes and send in a command to close the portals." "Do it," Green Lantern replied. No, Naruto shook his head negatively and motioned toward the big tower in the ocean, which was acting as a gateway to Apocalypse. We don't know what will happen once we close the portals. There were a lot of people that were abducted by the parademons and flown towards that tower. We can't just leave them there to die. The tower connects Earth to Apocalypse, Kurama informed. From the intel I have, these parademons take the habitants of the planet through the tower and into Apocalypse, where through a process called metamorphosis, turn them into parademons to serve Darkseid. We will need to rescue the people that were captured and bring them back to Earth safely first, and then close the portals, unless you have another way to bring everyone back, Naruto stated. Actually, the boom tubes work independently of the tower. I should be able to close the boom tubes without affecting the tower's connection, Cyborg replied. Are you able to open boom tubes as well, Naruto inquired. I can try, Cyborg replied as focused on the mother box in his hand. Boom. The boom tube opened up without an issue. Nodding to himself, Naruto suggested, Kurama and Green Lantern can go through this portal and enter Apocalypse. From there the two of you should be able to easily rescue the captured civilians. Why do I have to go with this criminal, Green Lantern retorted in disgust. The two of you can rescue a large number of people at once with your powers. The most any of us could do is 4 at max, Naruto explained. But Green Lantern started, but Naruto cut him off. It is decided then, and motioned the two to enter the portal. Kurama walked in without a fuss. He knew arguing with Naruto will get him nowhere. GL followed behind, grumbling. As Cyborg closed all the portals around the world, the remaining parademons were sucked back into them. Wait, how will they get back? Shazam questioned. Kurama is resourceful, he will find a way, Naruto replied. No sooner than he spoke, Superman crash landed near their location. A little help would be appreciated, Superman retorted as he wiped the blood from his lips and got back up. Take a few minute breather, Naruto suggested as he and the rest flew towards Darkseid. We got this. As the team joined forces again, Naruto directed Shazam and Cyborg to assist Wonder Woman and keep Darkseid busy. So, were you able to find any weakness? Naruto asked as he approached Batman. He is tough, extremely so, Batman answered as he caught his breath. Those beams from his eyes are very powerful as well. A good defense and a powerful offense, Naruto stated as he observed the other heroes fight Darkseid. We can teleport him back to Apocalypse, but he can then teleport right back to Earth using the boom tubes. We will have to incapacitate him, Batman replied. Don't worry, I have a plan, Naruto replied with a smirk. With their plan set, Naruto and Batman joined the fight. Darkseid by now had been bruised pretty badly, the entirety of his armor was gone, and he was bleeding from the slashes across his chest, courtesy of Wonder Woman. Give up, Naruto stated as he walked toward Darkseid. Your minions are all dead and the portals to Apocalypse have been disabled. You have lost. Darkseid grunted in annoyance as he began to power up. If I can't have Earth, no one can. Faster than either Flash or Superman could react, Darkseid channeled his power into his charred hands and slammed it toward the ground. The others may have failed to react, but not Naruto. Faster than any normal eye could track, he appeared in front of Darkseid and blocked the new god's attack with his forearms. The black suit disappeared from his torso and moved to cover his forearms. Boom. A huge concussive blast spread through the city, shattering all the windows, a much preferred outcome than if the new god's fist had hit the ground. Most of Naruto's shirt had torn off in the explosion, and his trousers had also ripped along the thighs. Pushing Darkseid's hands aside, Naruto launched a devastating uppercut, launching him into the air. Naruto jumped after him, the nanite surrounding his forearm morphing into a katana. Now! Yelled Batman, having explained the plan to everyone, as Superman and Wonder Woman dashed towards their airborne target. Superman appeared behind Darkseid and held him in place, while Naruto and Wonder Woman dashed forward and stabbed their respective blades toward Darkseid's face. Darkseid raised his arms to protect his face, but the blades passed through his forearms like butter and stabbed themselves into the new god's eyes. Superman dive-bombed him from the sky and crashed him into the ground. As the dust from the impact settled, Darkseid could be seen lying on the ground, blood flowing from his eyes. He soon attempted to get up, but as he laid his hands on the ground to lift himself up, his hands crumbled into dust as he fell face first in the ground with a shocked expression on his face. You are one tough bastard, Naruto stated as he walked toward the humiliated god. Did you really think you would walk away from the attack of my most dangerous weapon? With just scorched arms he came to a stop next to Darkseid, grabbed him by his throat and lifted him in the air. It took a while, but it did its job. Nodding toward Cyborg, who created a boom tube for Apocalypse, beaten, humiliated, blinded with both arms destroyed. Think back to this moment if you ever dare to look towards Earth again. Because next time, I'll make sure nothing of you remains. With his threat delivered, Naruto tossed the broken god into the portal. That was cold, Green Lantern muttered as he looked away, Flash nodding along. Had to make sure, Naruto replied as he removed a cell phone from his pant pocket which had somehow survived the ordeal. Send a pickup near my location, there are several civilians in need of assistance, Naruto ordered and pocketed the phone. Wait, what about Kurama and Green Lantern? Flash questioned. They just arrived a few minutes prior, Naruto replied as he sat on a nearby boulder. They have rescued everyone and destroyed the last tower as well. So, what now? Cyborg questioned. I'm hungry, Naruto replied as he laid on his back. I could go for a hot bowl of ramen. I own this high-end restaurant uptown. The chef makes the most delicious food you'll ever eat. You are all welcome to join me, Naruto finished as he sat back up. Free food, Flash responded, count me in. The other agreed as well, and with that, they left the scene. Chapter 3. Several months had passed since the group of heroes had banded together and defeated Darkseid and his invading forces. Since then, the public had started to see the heroes in a more positive light, as opposed to just some vigilantes who routinely took the law into their own hands. The heroes were also honored by the President of the United States for their bravery and valor. The group unanimously agreed on the name Justice League to represent themselves as a team. Justice League headquarters. Standing alone in front of a large screen, Cyborg looked sad as he observed the face of his father, Silas Stone, flash on the screen. Incoming call from Silas Stone. The automated voice of the computer rang out. I am not ready for this, Cyborg thought as he replied ignore to reject the call. As the seconds passed, the door to the room that Cyborg was standing in opened. Colonel Trevor, Cyborg greeted. Figured I'd find you here, the colonel replied, you're always here. Seeing as Cyborg was not replying, the colonel continued. The naval sub went dark and sank to the ocean floor mid-Pacific. Pulling it up now, Cyborg replied as he pressed a few buttons. On the screen, a huge submarine appeared, and after pressing a few more buttons, Cyborg retrieved the ship's logs. Sounds like they are being slaughtered, Cyborg stated as he listened to the ship's last transmission. The Navy wants their missiles back, and I want to know what the hell happened on that sub, Colonel Trevor replied. I'll boom down there and check it out myself, Cyborg offered. You want help? The colonel asked. If it was done manually, I won't be able to track anything besides the point of access, Cyborg replied. Maybe the security cameras could give me a visual. I meant you could call the League, the colonel clarified. I know what you meant, Cyborg replied. Until we have answers, there's no need to escalate this any higher. Have it your way then, Colonel answered as he began to walk away. Let me know what you find. Sir, the other Cyborg started as Trevor stopped near the entrance. They don't really come in, he informed, at all. Despite what you might want the world to think, Colonel Trevor, there is no Justice League, Cyborg stated. The colonel didn't reply as he walked out of the room. Mariana Trench. Finding the submarine and the bottom of the Mariana Trench, Cyborg soon discovered through the security feeds that someone or something had managed to get in the submarine, but he couldn't find any other information on the intruder since all the other files were corrupted. As he explored the submarine to look for the missing missiles, he was suddenly slammed into the sub's hull by an unknown assailant. As he aimed to fire a sonic blast, he was suddenly stabbed in his shoulder by another attacker. Servos damaged, suggest retreat, the computer advised. Turning around, Cyborg released a concussive blast from his body to disorient his attackers and rushed outside the submarine. Looking at his useless arm, he decided that another confrontation with his assailants would put him in a rough spot. Boom us out of here, Cyborg grunted as he passed through the portal that appeared in front of him. We will need the others' help on this. Justice League headquarters. What's so important that you had to drag me out of a board meeting? Naruto complained as he entered the League warehouse, dressed in a navy blue suit and a red tie. Not that I'm complaining, those meetings bore the hell out of me. We found this at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, Cyborg answered as he pointed at the destroyed submarine. Is this the same sub that was reported missing? Naruto asked as he walked closer to the vessel. Yes, Cyborg simply answered, not at all surprised that Naruto knew about the missing sub, even though it was top secret information. No energy signatures, Green Lantern called out as he scanned the ship with his ring. This was all done by hand. Who could do that? Shazam questioned, besides us. I count 4 dozen unique handprints moving in sync, Flash provided as he investigated the ship with his magnifying glasses. 4 squadrons, Batman answered. This was a choreographed attack. You think this has something to do with Darkseid? Wonder Woman inquired. Unlikely, Batman answered, the patterns don't fit. Ats. Naruto exclaimed as he walked toward the Dark Knight. You came as well, I thought you were investigating the Scarecrow. Someone messed up my plan and I lost my lead, Batman replied as he glared towards Green Lantern, who had inadvertently played a hand in it. I already said I was sorry. GL exclaimed. How did you know I was investigating Scarecrow? Batman asked as he suspiciously looked at Naruto. Naruto laughed as he patted Batman on the back. You ask the cutest questions. Where's your brother? Flash inquired as walked near him. He left, Naruto replied. He's back in the vast expanse of the space, having adventures. I wouldn't call what he does an adventure, Green Lantern replied, still sore from the humiliating defeat he faced during the Darkseid War. Back to the matter at hand, Cyborg called out, who do you think that could have done this? Picking up the blade that was lying on the table, Naruto tossed it in the air a couple of times. This the weapon you were attacked with? Naruto inquired. Nodding, Cyborg replied, I was stabbed with it from behind, I couldn't see my attacker. Not surprising, Naruto replied, you were lucky that you got away with only a stab. You know whom this weapon belongs to? Wonder Woman inquired. Of course, Naruto replied, but just to be sure. And threw the weapon at Wonder Woman, who blocked it with ease. What the hell? Superman yelled as he stood in front of Diana, eyes glowing red. Interesting, Naruto muttered as he observed Superman's reaction. Why the hell did you attack her? GL asked as he readied his power ring. Relax, Naruto replied as he raised his arms in surrender, just take a look at the weapon. Doing as Naruto had asked, Flash picked up the weapon and investigated it with his magnifying glass. Not a single scratch or deformation, Flash answered as he handed the blade over to Batman. That confirms it, Naruto called out, the only ones I know who can make a weapon this light and durable with these particular designs are the Atlanteans. You still didn't need to throw it at her, Superman called out, to which Naruto just shrugged. I agree, not with Superman, I can take care of myself, but about this blade, Diana replied as she gave Superman a look. These carvings, she continued as she pointed at the carvings of the handle, I recognized them from the tales of Atlantis I read as a girl. The city sunk, but its people were saved by the magic of the king's trident, but it turned them irreversibly into creatures of the sea. That's a fairy tale, Green Lantern scoffed. It's true, Naruto revealed, I have seen it with my own eyes. And how did you come across it? Flash asked skeptically. I found it when I was diving in the Atlantic Ocean, Naruto answered, prude king. Beautiful queen, bratty prince. I find that hard to believe, Shazam replied. Atlantis was considered a myth, there were theories of its existence all around the world, but no concrete proof to facilitate them. Assuming Atlantis does exist, Green Lantern started, what does a mystical undersea world need with missiles, and I so dare you to say that 5 times fast. We could go there and ask them, Naruto replied as fished for something in his jacket pocket, get ready. And threw the device he retrieved on the ground. No, Batman started. Before he could complete his sentence, the device created an invisible dome around them and they vanished into thin air. In their place, a large globe of water appeared and splattered on the ground. Atlantis, throne room. Queen Atlanta, the Queen of Atlantis, seated on the throne with her shoulders squared and her back straight, a posture befitting a monarch. In her left hand she held a golden trident. Though she was nearing 100, she still looked like she was in her early 30s. She sat quietly as the doors to the throne room opened. She observed her son, Prince Orm, enter, followed by a red-haired woman, Mara, the princess of Zebel, and her protege. The prince swam to the queen's side and kissed her on her cheek. Mother, he greeted. The queen observed Orm as he swam back and floated a distance away from her. Your transparent aggression towards the surface world has left Atlantis exposed, Orm. The queen accused him, do you deny it? That ship would have discovered us, Orm replied as he folded his arms over his chest in defiance. Nonsense, the queen replied with a scoff, our magic continues to protect us. As she said that, a spark of electricity suddenly appeared in the center of the throne room, then another spark appeared. The queen's guards, who were standing guard in the background, sprang into action as they surrounded the queen and pointed their spears towards the weird phenomenon. Just as quickly as it had appeared, the electricity disappeared and in its place were the members of the Justice League. Stop. Batman finished, but it was too late, the teleportation had already succeeded. The invisible dome protected them from the crushing pressure and lack of breathable air. Greetings, my queen, Naruto exclaimed. Naruto? Atlanta questioned as she pushed the guards aside so that she can take a better look. Naruto. Upon confirming that it indeed was Naruto, she rushed towards him and hugged him tightly. It's nice meeting you too, Naruto whispered, my queen. Atlanta lightly hit him on his chest as they parted. I told you, it will always be only Atlanta for you. It's been a while, Naruto started, you still look the same. And you have grown, the queen replied, quite handsomely, may I add. Stop. You are making me blush, Naruto replied as he tried to hide his blush. Hearing a soft cough from the side, Naruto straightened up. These are my colleagues, Naruto introduced, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Cyborg, and Green Lantern, not their real names, it's just what they go by. Atlanta nodded, greetings to my humble kingdom of Atlantis, the queen greeted, any friend of Naruto's is an esteemed guest here in Atlantis. What are you doing, mother? Orm yelled, outraged, these surface dwellers are the reason why my father, your king, is dead and you are providing them with hospitality instead of having them executed on sight. Enough, the queen ordered, the volcano that killed your father was not the fault of the surfacers, but the one who attacked them. Death by collateral, Orm started, but the queen cut him off. Enough. I will hear no more of this nonsense, the queen commanded, you are forbidden from leaving the kingdom till I decide otherwise. Now leave, I have matters to attend to. The prince cursed as he stormed out of the throne room. He has always been a problem child, coddled by his father, unsuitable for the throne, Atlantis stated as she turned to look at Naruto again. I apologize for having you witness that, Atlanta apologized. Do you remember what I said when the last time we spoke? Naruto replied. There is no place for thank you or sorry in friendship, Atlanta repeated as she smiled at Naruto, a peaceful silence stretching on. Just kiss already. Shazam exclaimed and was instantly blasted away by a burst of water. Lowering the trident, the queen asked, so, what can I assist you with, ignoring the remark made by Shazam. It seems that you already know why we are here, Naruto replied as the queen motioned for the others to sit around the nearby table as he adjusted the device to cover the entire throne room. The attack on the vessel, the queen stated as she sat at the head of the table. More precisely, the missiles that were stolen, Batman informed. I'll have that looked into and have them returned by the end of the day, the queen replied. There seems to be a coup happening in your kingdom, Naruto stated. 4 squadrons of Atlanteans attacked a submarine without your knowledge. This could have been considered an act of war had we not intervened. I would like to issue a formal apology to the surface world, the queen stated. Mara can have it arranged. That will not be a vice decision right now, Naruto replied. From what I know of your son, he has been poisoned by your king's ideologies and won't be satisfied until there is a war between our two worlds. I wouldn't put it past him to do something deceitful to take the throne from you. As it stands, you are on the cusp of a civil war, and exposing yourselves to the outside world at this moment will bring more trouble than it's worth. The queen hummed in understanding. Mara did not understand how someone could hold such sway over their queen's decision, but decided not to voice her opinion on the matter. Then what do you suggest I do? The questioned. You have another son as well, right? Naruto inquired. Groom him to become the king that Atlantis deserves. Nodding her head, the queen motioned Mara over. What of my other son? Have you found Arthur? Yes, my queen, Mara replied. Bring him to me at once, it's time for him to take his rightful place as the king of Atlantis. Understood. As Mara reached the doors, a blast reverberated throughout the rooms. What's going on? Flash questioned as stood up from his chair. Don't leave the sphere, Naruto ordered as others began to get ready to fight. We are not well equipped to fight underwater. Green Lantern and Cyborg, go take care of the issue outside, Naruto directed. GL and Cyborg both nodded as they left to investigate the explosions. Shazam, take Mara with you and go find Arthur, bring him back here safely. Mara left with Shazam once she got the queen's approval. Flash, Batman, I'll teleport you back to the JL headquarters. You won't be of much assistance here, but you can monitor the situation from there and keep us all looped in, Naruto informed as he threw another teleporter device on the ground. The two agreed with his statement and teleported over to the headquarters. What do we do now? Wonder Woman asked as she stood beside Superman. We protect the queen, Naruto answered. I doubt Orm would launch an attack without having the plan to deal with her. Walking closer to Naruto, the queen spoke softly. You would make an excellent king. Superman and Wonder Woman gave them some space, seeing as they were discussing something personal. I told you before, our relationship wouldn't have worked out in the end, Naruto replied. I have secrets. You can call me selfish, but it would have been unbearable for me to leave you when the inevitable happens. We could have been happy till then, Atlanta replied as she held Naruto's face in her palms. I was willing to leave everything behind for you. And I did not want that for you, Naruto replied as he pushed her hands away from his face, his red eyes showing untold emotions. In the end, you did find love and happiness with someone else. That's all anyone can ask for. There was a huge rumble as the doors to the throne room were blasted apart. Superman and Wonder Woman were hit with a blue beam that blasted them through the room and into the ocean. 4 figures dressed in black followed after them. What is the meaning of this, Orm? The queen yelled in rage. The surfacers have launched an attack on us as I had predicted. Their ships are destroying Atlantis as we speak. We need to eliminate these outsiders and retaliate with all our wrath. Orm exclaimed as he showed the queen footage of several submarines attacking Atlantis. Naruto stepped away as he allowed the mother and son to talk. Do you take me for a fool, Orm? The queen retorted as she got up from her chair and walked towards Orm. I know all of this was orchestrated by you to wage a war against the surface dwellers. I have eyes everywhere, Orm, and you will face judgment for this treachery and spilling the blood of your own kin. I did this to honor the memory of my dead father. The prince exclaimed. Peace with the surface dwellers, he scoffed. It flies in the face of everything my father ever wanted. And so, you decided to betray Atlantis and sound the drums of war solely to honor your father's memory. Don't speak to me of betrayals. He yelled. I know that I am not the only one with your royal blood in my veins. So, you found out, the queen simply stated. Of your betrayal of my father and an illegitimate heir to the throne, then yes. I did. I deny nothing, Orm, the queen replied. Once your elder brother, Arthur, takes the throne and bridges the peace between Atlantis and the surface, both worlds will flourish in peace. The bastard ruling over Atlantis. Orm exclaimed, his face inches away from his mother, seething in anger, over my dead body. And stabbed the queen in the stomach. Atlanta. Naruto yelled in horror. Naruto had not expected Orm to take such a drastic step and murder his own mother. Before he could react to the attack, Orm snatched the trident from the queen's dying arm and attacked Naruto with a wave of electricity, blasting him toward the corner of the room. Quickly recovering from the attack, Naruto found that Orm had fled, leaving behind his dying mother and a squadron of men to take care of him. Dashing toward them, Naruto kicked one in the chest, crashing the Black Manta soldier into others. Quickly dodging the remaining soldiers' attacks, Naruto reached the queen and teleported out. Justice League HQ. Naruto appeared in the center and quickly dashed towards the medbay, ignoring Batman and Flash's voices. Quickly hooking Atlanta up to a healing pod, Naruto waited anxiously to let the machine do its thing. As the seconds passed by and the machines failed to heal the stab wound, Naruto threw the tablet computer he was holding and yelled, "Why the fuck is this not working? It's a simple stab wound." Batman and Flash gave the furious man some space and simply stood near the entrance. Naruto Atlanta called out as she held her hands toward him. Quickly grasping the hand, Naruto muttered softly, "I'm here." "I am dying," the queen stated. Before Naruto could retort, she continued weakly, "There is nothing you can do to stop this. The dagger which Orm stabbed me with was an ancient Atlantean relic, meant to pass on the power of the royal family to the heir. It was used to give the new kings a boost in power for the wars they were involved in at the time. We had stopped this custom centuries ago after peace was established in Atlantis. I don't know how he got his hands on it, but what's done is done. There is nothing you can do to undo it." Orm, Naruto muttered hatefully, "I will kill him for this." The queen did not let Naruto leave as she held onto his hand. "It's not his fault, it's I who failed him. I should have been more attentive, more strict to his wrongdoings." Seeing the hateful look still etched on Naruto's face, she continued, "This expression doesn't suit you. Do you want this to be my last memory of you?" Naruto relaxed his face and mustered a small smile on his face. "Much better," Atlanta muttered and coughed up some blood which Naruto quickly wiped away. She then continued, "There is something I always wanted to tell you, but you never let me speak it out loud." "I know," Naruto muttered as he tried to stop the tears and maintain his smile. He knew he would break if he heard those words. "I love you," she whispered as she closed her eyes. "I love you too," Naruto replied quickly, but it was too late. Her hand dropped from his grasp, lifeless. He didn't know whether she heard him or not, and that realization caused his dam of tears to finally break. Batman and Flash silently left the room to let the man grieve. A magic circle appeared near Batman and Flash as Kurama stepped out, a hint of fear in his eyes. "Where is my brother?" he asked. The duo didn't answer, but turned towards the medbay. Kurama silently walked towards the medbay doors. As the doors opened, he saw Naruto kneeling near the dead body of Atlanta. Seeing the stab wound near the abdomen, his expression changed from fear to that of anger. Kurama asked you. "The matter has been dealt with, and the murderer has been caught and will be brought to justice," Batman replied. "I ask who did this?" Kurama asked again, a bit more force in his words. "We are personally handling," Flash replied, but was stopped mid-sentence as Kurama teleported near him, grasped his neck, and lifted him off the ground. "I ask who killed her?" Kurama yelled, his anger in full display. "Enough," Naruto called out as he kissed Atlanta on her forehead and turned around. "There will be no more deaths today. I won't have her memory tarnished." But Kurama argued, but before he could finish his sentence, Naruto dashed towards him and punched him in the face. A magic circle appeared near Kurama's head to protect him, but it broke like glass as soon as Naruto's bare fist made contact with it. Flash fell to the ground as Kurama was blasted into the nearby wall. Following up with his attack, Naruto dashed toward Kurama again. Boom. Said. Boom. Enough. Boom. Naruto punched with each word he spoke. The entire HQ rumbled with each of his strikes. No one spoke as the dust from the concrete settled. Kurama managed to open one of his bloodied eyes as he felt a tear fall on his face. Looking at Naruto's broken expression, he understood what his brother was going through. "Understood," Kurama muttered weakly as he was hoisted up by Naruto. "We won't speak on this matter ever again, and you won't do anything about it either," Naruto continued, his back facing Batman and Flash, hiding his pained expressions from them. Kurama nodded weakly as he created a magic circle beneath them and teleported away. He did not want anyone to witness Naruto like this. Following the aftermath of Atlanta's death, Orm's betrayal was brought to light, and Arthur ascended the throne of Atlantis and became its king. Orm was imprisoned and sent to the dark trenches for the death of the queen and his treason against Atlantis. 3 months later. "So, how long do you plan on staying here?" Naruto asked as he sat on a chair and ate his breakfast. "I don't know," Kurama replied, lying on the dining table with a toast in his mouth. "This place is growing on me. I now certainly understand your attachment to this planet." Naruto sighed as he finished up his breakfast. Kurama had been staying with him in his mansion for the past 3 months, and after the incident with Atlanta, he found it imperative to provide Naruto with his support. Naruto didn't mind at first, he knew Kurama was just looking out for him, but after 3 months of close proximity with him, Naruto was reaching the limit of his patience. Suddenly, Naruto's Justice League alert went off. "What's going on?" Kurama replied as got up and sat cross-legged. "There's been a break-in at the Flash Museum," Naruto replied. "You going?" Kurama inquired. "No, the League can handle it," Naruto replied as he got up and started cleaning the mess Kurama had spread across the dining table. There were toasts lying everywhere, butter messily spread across the table with pieces of eggs littered everywhere. It was an understatement to say that Kurama was a messy person. His room was littered with worn clothes, bits and pieces of food and other items spread haphazardly across the floor. Naruto sighed as he tried to figure out a way to let Kurama know that he was fine now. It was more of Kurama's antics that were getting on his nerves now. "I don't understand why you keep going around cleaning up the mess," Kurama replied as he jumped off the table and did a few stretches. "There is a reason we have servants, let them do their jobs." "I didn't hire them to clean up after you, I hired them to look after the mansion." "Then hire someone to look after me as well," Kurama replied cheekily. Naruto sighed again as he put the dishes in the sink and put the trash in the bin. "So, what's today's plan?" Kurama inquired as he sat on a nearby chair. "I have a few board meetings that I need to attend," Naruto replied, "and you are not invited," Naruto finished with a pointed look. "Why? What the hell did I do to get uninvited?" Kurama asked innocently. "There have been more than 300 sexual harassment reports that were submitted to me in the past 3 months, and only 10 have been of my employees." "I'll have to pump those numbers up, those are rookie numbers," Kurama replied. "I plan for at least 200 this month." Naruto sighed again and went to his room to get changed. As he was putting on his suit, the ground beneath his feet suddenly rumbled. "Kurama!" he yelled, "I told you, no magic in my house." "It wasn't me," Naruto heard Kurama yell back. There was another rumble, this time stronger. "Kurama! I'm not doing anything." Kurama exclaimed as he entered Naruto's room, dressed in black shorts, a white polo t-shirt, and white flip-flops. "It was probably an earthquake, you do have insurance, right?" Naruto muttered something under his breath and checked his phone to see if it was indeed an earthquake. "You coming dressed like that?" Naruto inquired as he checked the news. "It's my brother's company," Kurama boasted. "I can come naked if I want to, who's there to stop me?" "Please don't," Naruto stated as he focused on his phone again. "Weird, there is no record of an earthquake anywhere," Naruto replied. Suddenly, there was a blinding white light that engulfed everything. "The fuck happened?" Kurama cursed as he rubbed his eyes. "We were teleported to our ship," Naruto replied as he walked to a nearby console. "That's not good," Kurama stated, "that's never good." "Is it time for it then?" Kurama inquired. "I'm not yet ready, I still have so much to do." "I don't think we were teleported in here for that," Naruto replied as he showed the monitor to Kurama. One of the ship's fail-safe was triggered, someone messed up big time. "Ooh, this is not good," Kurama replied as he studied the monitor. "This is definitely not good." Walking out of the door, the duo found nothing but destroyed buildings, there was no civilian in sight. "Our ship was parked near London, right?" Kurama inquired, to which Naruto pointed towards the broken Big Ben in the distance. "Can we move?" Kurama inquired. "Barely, this teleportation took a huge chunk of power," Naruto replied. "The ship's power was already depleted when it had originally landed. I was able to replenish some of it, but the materials are not easy to come by here." "That's true," Kurama replied. "I had scoured galaxies for the materials, but wasn't able to find what we needed for the repairs. We should put the ship in lockdown and try to find out what happened here, let's get ready," Naruto replied as he entered the broken building that their ship was camouflaged as. "Agreed," Kurama replied. After their preparation, the duo moved out and teleported to Metropolis. There, they found out that there was a war going on between the Amazons and the Atlanteans. Atlantis had sunk the entirety of West Europe in the ocean, and Amazons had taken control of the United Kingdom and had renamed it New Themyscira. Millions of people had lost their lives as collateral in the war. They had also learned that in this world there was no Justice League, no Superman or Flash, but they discovered that a Batman and Cyborg were still present. So, their next plan of action was to visit Batman. Teleporting to the desolate Wayne Manor, the duo made their way to the Batcave. There they found Batman laying a beat down on a blonde-haired man, Barry Allen, the Flash. "Who are you?" Batman questioned as he punched Barry. "How did you find this place?" Barry quickly raised his arms in surrender. "Wait. It's me, Bruce, Barry Allen. You have to remember. Bruce is dead. I watched him die," Batman replied as grabbed Barry by the collar. "My God." Barry exclaimed as a revelation hit him. "He's the one who died that night in the alley. Bruce died and you lived, you're his father. You're Thomas Wayne." Suddenly he yelled in pain as Batman broke one of his fingers. "You have 9 more fingers," Batman stated. "I suggest you tell me how you found out about all of this." "That won't be required," Naruto called out as he and Kurama exited the shadows. "His name is the Flash, he is a speedster from my world and looks like he fucked up big time with his time travel shenanigans." "Naruto? Kurama?" Barry asked in relief and surprise. "You're here? You remember me?" "But I went to your mansion, there was no one there was no Abstergo Industries either, in fact, there was no one in this world who matched your descriptions." "We don't exist here," Naruto replied as he walked forward. "We are paradoxes in this world." "Wait, how can you exist if you are a paradox?" Barry questioned. "That's not important," Naruto replied as he picked up a scalpel that was lying on the nearby bed. "What's important is that we get out of here." Without any warning, Naruto threw the scalpel at Barry's head. Barry didn't even register the scalpel being thrown until Kurama stopped it a few inches from his right eye. Batman quickly reached for his gun but was stopped by Kurama. Kurama exclaimed as rested a katana on the Dark Knight's throat. "So, you have lost your connection to the Speed Force," Naruto stated. "Well, that's unfortunate." "Speed Force?" Batman questioned as he tried to think of a way to get out of the situation. "It's a multi-dimensional energy that's based around velocity and movement. It represents reality in motion, the very cosmic force that pushes space and time forward and brings movement into being. It's what powers Barry's abilities," Naruto explained. Seeing the baffled expression on Barry's face, Naruto exclaimed, "What's with that dumb expression? I have 20 PhDs, you know." Seeing as there was no immediate threat from the three, Batman decided to listen to them. "I'll humor you," Batman replied as he raised his hands in surrender, "for now." "My ring?" Barry exclaimed as he fished into his jacket to find his ring. "Let me show you that I'm telling the truth. This ring holds my uniform," he continued as he showed Batman his ring and pressed a button on it and out popped a yellow costume. "See? I told." Barry stopped as he took a good look at the uniform. It was yellow instead of his usual red. "Not what you were expecting?" Batman questioned. "Isn't the Reverse Flash wear this thing?" Kurama questioned. "Reverse Flash?" Batman questioned again. Barry replied, "This uniform belongs to my opposite, the Reverse Flash, Eobard Thawne." "What kind of name is Eobard?" Batman asked. "The 25th century kind," Flash replied. "He replicated the accident that allowed me to tap into the Speed Force and became a criminal. The Speed Force allows both of us to bend the laws of physics using super speed," Barry explained. "He can travel through time." "You're suggesting that he changed something in the past?" Batman questioned. "So, you're not the one who made the change?" Naruto questioned. "No," Barry replied, "at least, I don't think I am." Naruto hummed, "That does explain a lot, because of the change he made, you are Batman instead of Bruce, and Diana and Arthur are about to start World War III. My mom is also alive," Barry chimed in, but he was ignored. "Assuming that this is all true, then, to fix the timeline, we will need to find what Eobard changed and reverse it so that this timeline never exists, correct?" Batman inquired. "Like Back to the Future?" Barry exclaimed. "Not quite," Naruto replied. "There are multiple types of time travel and all of them work differently and have different effects on the past, the present and the future. The first thing to understand is that time is not linear, it's more like a big ball of wibbly-wobbly timey-wimey stuff." "Nicely explained," Kurama deadpanned. "Forget I said that," Naruto said, a little embarrassed. "To explain it in simpler terms, when time travel is done through the use of Speed Force, it creates a perpendicular timeline that has its own past and future, and the point of change acts as the intersection of these timelines, as opposed to the branch timeline which is shown to happen in Back to the Future." "I still don't get it," Flash replied. "What he means is," Batman started, "even if we stop what Eobard did, it won't stop this timeline from vanishing, we would just be removing the point of intersection, making the timelines run parallel or worse, create an entirely new timeline." "Correct," Naruto replied, "we could just let this timeline be as it is and return to our original timeline without having to stop the Reverse Flash, but with Barry's connection to Speed Force broken, there is no way to do that." "Wait, if what you are saying is true then shouldn't the timeline shift just apply to the Reverse Flash?" Flash questioned. "Why am I in this timeline? Why are the two of you in this timeline?" Naruto hummed in deep thought. "Either he purposefully pulled you into this timeline, or you were the one who changed the past," Naruto answered. "Regardless of what the answer to that question is, we need to get back to our original timeline," Naruto continued, skillfully dodging the other question. "We need to get Barry his powers back," Kurama commented. "That would be the fastest way to get back, every other plan would require at least a few months of preparation, and seeing the situation of this planet, I would guess it has mere weeks before either the Atlanteans or the Amazons blow it up." "We can recreate the accident which gave me my super speed," Barry suggested. "We can use the chemicals you have here, all we need is a bolt of thunder." "Well, we are in Gotham," Kurama replied. "It's known for its unbelievably bad weather, if not, then I can always summon one." You can summon thunder. Barry questioned, to which Kurama just smirked. Well, let's get to it then, Naruto replied as he headed for the exit while collecting the necessary chemicals. Strapped to a chair, Barry sat surrounded by chemicals and metal rods. This is crazy, Batman muttered, you all ought to be in Arkham. We are doing what needs to be done, Kurama replied, as much as I like to see planets blowing up, I like to witness it from a safe distance. We are set, Naruto replied after making adjustments to the machine he had created, a bolt of lightning, and you should have your powers back. How are you so confident? Flash questioned as he tightened his straps. 20 PhDs, remember, Naruto replied, plus, I have already recreated it once. What? Barry asked in concern, on whom? Naruto just smirked and turned on the device he had made to attract the lightning. Now we wait, Naruto stated. Soon a bolt of thunder struck the machine and traveled over to Barry, who screamed in pain. It was done as soon as it happened. Welcome back, Flash, Naruto muttered. Good to be back, Barry replied, a confident grin on his face. Suddenly, he raised his hand and caught a shard of glass thrown by Kurama. Just checking. Somehow, I am remembering things from this timeline, Barry replied as he got up from the chair. How Aquaman destroyed most of Europe, but I can remember my world as well, the world where Aquaman would never harm an innocent person. It's the paradox fixing itself, Naruto replied. I call it a memory remnant. Haven't you wondered why there aren't two Barry Allen in this world? Naruto questioned. When the timeline shifted, the Barry Allen of this world must have forcibly merged with you, Naruto explained. Since you can't be in two timelines at once without something stopping the paradox, one of you had to go. This is what is causing your memories to align to this world's history. If you stay here long enough, you may even forget your own timeline and everyone in it. Now, what the hell are you waiting for? Kurama exclaimed. Run, Flash, run as you have never before. Sorry, couldn't resist, Kurama replied to the poker faces of all three. Now, all you need to do is break the time barrier, enter the Speed Force, and navigate to your own timeline, Naruto stated. What of this Earth? Barry questioned. It is not our place to intervene in the affairs of this world, Kurama answered with a serious expression. We will have to leave it to its own fate. I can't do that, Flash firmly replied. I can make you do it, Kurama replied threateningly as magic circles manifested in his palms. Stop, Naruto intervened. Why do you want to save this world so bad? Naruto questioned. Because this is the world where my mom lives. I'm not going to lose her again. Flash replied. Sighing, Naruto replied, you do realize that there are multiple worlds where your mother is still alive, and some of those worlds end too. Are you going to go to all those timelines as well, and save those worlds too? Furthermore, by saving this world you could be pointing it towards an even worse fate. Let's say, Darkseid of this timeline were to visit Earth and decide to terraform it, with no one capable of stopping him. What would happen to this planet? What would happen to your mother? Naruto tried to reason with him, and if not Darkseid, something entirely different could happen. The point is, looking at the bigger picture, it wouldn't really matter even if you did save the planet. If it doesn't matter anyway, then I choose to stay and fight, Flash replied as he got ready to fight the two. I am not letting my mother die if I can do something about it. For a tense moment, it seemed like a fight would break out, but then Naruto raised his hands in surrender. Fine, you win, Naruto stated with a sigh. Who are we to stop a son from protecting his mother? At least try to see if you can enter the time stream, we could at least know what Thon had changed, Naruto suggested. After a brief moment of contemplation, Flash agreed. Okay, he replied and ran off in the distance. Naruto made a tiny gesture towards Kurama, who understood what it meant. The small interaction was noticed by Batman, but he decided not to voice out any of his concerns. Flash came back a few seconds later. Couldn't do it? Naruto inquired. I am slower than I was before, it's like something is keeping me from accessing enough energy to the time stream, Barry replied. Thon is probably co-opting the Speed Force, Naruto replied. He is deliberately preventing you from going back. After a brief moment of contemplation, Naruto started. Well, we have two options here. We either remove the other speedster from the equation or provide you with enough energy to break the time barrier. The latter would require lots of time. Well, I guess it's hunting time, Flash stated with a grin as he ran back inside. The remaining three stood awkwardly until Batman stated, you were going to force him to take you back to your world. It was worth a try, Kurama stated as he and Naruto started to walk back inside. Let's get in and plan our next steps. It doesn't seem like we would be able to leave anytime soon. If Flash were to fail to incapacitate this Reverse Flash, can either of you two take care of him? Batman questioned. Within a heartbeat, Kurama replied. What of Wonder Woman and Aquaman? Batman continued. The answer remains the same, Naruto replied. Would you? Batman questioned again, to which he just received a smile from the two. Top of a random building in Metropolis. With their plan of action set, the three decided to move to Metropolis to meet with one of Batman's contact. Kurama whistled as he observed the giant crater in the center of the city. That's quite a big hole you have there, must have been quite an interesting event. In my new memories of this timeline, I witnessed this happen with my own eyes, Flash stated. A meteor hit the city. This happened 30 years ago, Batman added. Didn't our man in blue come to Earth during the same period, Kurama questioned. Flash nodded. Yes, Superman's ship crash landed on Earth around the same time. So, this happened in your world as well, Batman questioned. Yes it did, but the ship crashed in Smallville, Naruto replied, not in Metropolis. So, where is Superman? Flash asked. Who is this Superman? Batman questioned. He is a symbol of hope in our world, Flash replied, one of the strongest being on our planet. It must be a paradise, Batman commented. So, who's your contact? He should have been here by now, Kurama interjected as he saw Flash about to reply to Batman. We didn't come all the way here to have a chat about Superman. He is one of the government's agents, Batman replied, and don't worry, he's always on time. On cue, a large metallic humanoid body landed near them. I have to admit, I didn't expect your call, the metal-clad humanoid stated. Cyborg. Flash exclaimed as he observed the metal man, you look different. Have we met? Cyborg questioned. No, he's new, Batman replied, super speed, goes by the Flash. And these are my colleagues, he said pointing towards Naruto and Kurama. My name is Naruto, he is Kurama, Naruto introduced. The light on Cyborg's head glowed red for a moment. There is no one in my database with your name and face, Cyborg stated. And we like it that way, Kurama replied. You still need a strategist for your little army. Batman interjected before Cyborg could ask any more questions. Yes, it looked like Cyborg had more questions, but Batman's offer put a stop to them. I'll do it, Batman replied, but my way, and I pick the team, starting with these three. What's the catch? Cyborg asked. Don't get me wrong, I am happy with your decision to help us, but what changed? We have some hope now, that's all, Batman answered. We can also try to find Superman, Flash suggested. He is probably locked up in one of the government facilities, seeing as Batman here has never heard of someone with power like his, Naruto stated, or dead and dissected, but knowing how tough he is, I doubt this is the case. Superman? Cyborg questioned. He was the alien who crash-landed here in Metropolis, Flash explained, pointing at the giant crater. Alien? Cyborg questioned, what are you talking about? The meteor, Kurama started, it's not what your pals at the Pentagon had you believe, you can try to look it up in your database. Cyborg looked hesitant to look it up, and after a few seconds of thinking he looked towards the sky as his eyes started to glow red. There's something there, Cyborg replied, but it's above even my clearance. Let me take a look, Naruto replied as he retrieved his cell phone. I used to hack government agencies when I got bored. I doubt you would be able to hack into, Cyborg started but was interrupted by Naruto. Naruto replied as he showed the location of the base. Just who are you? Cyborg exclaimed. Ignoring Cyborg, Naruto ordered Kurama go get him, to which Kurama just nodded and disappeared. Who are you two and how have I never heard about? Cyborg started but was interrupted by Kurama this time. Kurama spoke as he appeared with a skinny man dressed in a blue costume. Is that Clark? Flash asked in horror at the condition of the Superman in front of them. He was extremely malnourished, sickly pale, and just lacked the air of power that the Superman in his world oozed with. This is the most powerful being on this planet? Batman asked incredulously. Circumstances can be a bitch, Naruto stated as he scanned the skinny Superman. He should be good once he absorbs enough of the sun's radiation, but for now we should keep him out of unnecessary conflicts. I doubt he would do well in a warzone. Agreed, Batman replied. The psychological trauma of war and bloodshed would be too much for him, considering his current condition. We will leave him in your hideout for now, Naruto stated as he observed Superman hide behind Kurama. You can help him integrate into the society once we are done. For now, let's get the team together. With their plan of action set, the group moved out. In the plane, moving towards London. So, what's our plan of action? Cyborg asked as he pressed buttons on the plane's computer. We go to London and put an end to this war, Batman replied. I was expecting a bit more, Cyborg replied. I am still hesitant, Naruto stated, taking kids to a war zone. He motioned towards the Shazam kids. They have already witnessed the worst this world has to offer, Batman replied. We can take care of ourselves, Billy Bat Sanaka, Shazam stated. And who the hell are you, and why is he dressed like we are going to a beach? He finished as he pointed at Kurama, who was still wearing his shorts, black polo t-shirt and flip-flops. He had also found some black sunglasses which he wore with a smirk on his face. I like to keep up with the recent trends, Kurama answered, while Naruto just resigned himself to Kurama's antics. We have an update, Cyborg stated as he got up from the plane's console. I intercepted a message coming out of Europe, Cyborg continued. Lois Lane, an embedded reported turned resistance fighter, uploaded this video. Cyborg proceeded to show the video and stopped on a frame that showed a yellow blur moving past some soldiers. Looks like we have our man, Kurama commented. Who is he? Cyborg questioned. He seems as fast as the Flash, having witnessed Flash's speed firsthand. You don't need to worry about him, Batman interjected. Suddenly there was a loud boom as the entire plane shook. Incoming! Batman exclaimed as he ran towards the plane's control but was stopped by Naruto. Are you ready? Naruto asked Kurama. He got a nod in response. Alright. Huddle up everyone, Naruto exclaimed as he gathered everyone in a circle. Do it! Naruto ordered as a blast separated one of the plane's wings. Kurama quickly created a magic circle big enough for the entire group and clasped his hands. On a random building in London. The group observed from the top of a destroyed building as their plane was blasted out of the sky. If we had the option, why didn't we just teleport here from the beginning? Billy exclaimed, to which Kurama just shrugged his shoulders, not giving a reply. Looks like the battle has already begun, Batman stated as he peered out of a nearby broken window to see the Amazons and the Atlanteans battle it out. Fight your way to the leaders. Once we have Aquaman and Wonder Woman, this war is over. We will look for the Reverse Flash, Naruto replied. Flash, stay here and help them. With your limited access to the Speed Force, I doubt you could catch up to him. Flash wanted to argue, but knew that they were right, as he was right now, he could not handle the Reverse Flash. Instead, he just nodded and joined the Shazam kids and Cyborg in the battle. Now, with only the three of them present, Batman stated, you will not be joining the fight. This time it was Kurama who answered, this is not our battle to fight. If we had wanted to, we could have single-handedly brought an end to this war in a couple of hours, but that wouldn't have accomplished anything. What will happen when we go back to our own timeline and something like this happens again? Would you still look for someone else to fight for you? Kurama stated, you should not expect others to protect things that are dear to you. You need to do that with your own two hands or at least die trying. Batman was silent as he remembered the night when he lost his son Bruce. You are right, Batman replied with a newfound resolve and jumped down from the window to join the fight. That was very mature review, Naruto commented. I'm surprised, usually I am the one with the heartfelt speeches. You know what this means, right? Kurama questioned, his expression turning serious. We are stabilizing, Naruto replied, his expression mirroring Kurama's. This is not good, we need to take care of this when we return, he stated ominously. Death to the Underdwellers. Wonder Woman screamed as she threw an enormous boulder at the Atlantean tank nearby. Kill them all. She exclaimed as she pointed her sword at the Atlantean army approaching them. Her army bellowed as they advanced towards their enemy. She seems excited, Kurama commented, sitting at the edge of a nearby building, casually eating popcorn he had swiped from Batman's plane as he observed the war below. The fireball suddenly fell from the sky, crashing into the Amazonian army. Behold man's final mad disgrace, a figure emerged from the fire. He chops his nose to spite his face. The figure turned out to be a muscular humanoid creature with orange skin, horns, red eyes, and pointed webbed ears. He was the demon, Etrigan. Soon, the battling forces were surrounded by the resistance forces. You've got to put an end to this war. A woman with black hair and purple eyes exclaimed. You're going to destroy the only world we've got. She had a beautiful angular face, her hair was tied in a ponytail, she was holding a rifle, ready to be used at a moment's notice. This was Lois Lane. You won't have it for much longer, Surface Dweller, Aquaman replied as he thrust his hand into the ground and flung a boulder at her. Lois's team was quick to react as they dashed away from the approaching boulder and jumped below. She's right, you know, Kurama spoke up in a jovial tone before the fight could continue further. He jumped down from the building he was sitting on, still holding the packet of popcorn, and swaggered over to stand in front of her team. Why are you involving the humans in a war between your nations? Kurama spoke as he tossed a popcorn into his mouth. From what I know, the queen here, he pointed at Diana, killed your wife. He then pointed at Arthur. After she tried to assassinate her. The nearby Atlantean soldier, a bit too trigger-happy, shot at him before he could continue further. The blue wave of energy fired by him was blocked by a purple magic circle before it could reach Kurama. In response, Kurama flicked a popcorn kernel, soaked with his magic, at the shooter's head. As soon as the popcorn touched the Atlantean's forehead, it exploded, blasting the soldier's head into a gory mess. Don't interrupt me again, Kurama warned, his voice cold as he tilted his head down so that the enemy could see his emotionless blue eyes behind the sunglasses. The effect was instantaneous. Everyone tensed as they felt a sudden weight on their shoulders, but the pressure was gone as soon as it had appeared. As I was saying, he continued, his voice taking a jovial tone again, this is a personal matter between the Queen of the Amazons and the King of Atlantis, why don't the two of us just duke it out amongst yourself? This does not concern you, Surface Dweller, Aquaman replied as he readied his trident, a bit cautious of Kurama's display of power. Oh, but it does, Kurama replied, holding up the popcorn bag near his mouth and shaking it. When no popcorn fell into his mouth, he sighed, neatly folded the bag, and put it into his shorts pocket. "You're destroying our world too. Enough of this." Aquaman exclaimed as he dashed towards Kurama, who just pointed a finger at him. A black circle suddenly appeared near Aquaman's chest, and a spell blasted him through several buildings. The invisible force carried him to the edge of the island and into the sea below. Raising his finger covered with black energy, Kurama blocked Wonder Woman's sword as she suddenly appeared before him. "You've got to be faster than this to catch me off guard," Kurama stated calmly as he flicked his middle finger at Wonder Woman's chest. The force of the flick, well weaker than his spell, still blasted the queen in the same direction as Aquaman. "Who are you?" Lois questioned in amazement. She had witnessed two of the strongest people she knew get manhandled with just a finger. "I am the reinforcement," Kurama replied. "You guys take care of their army. I'll keep those two busy." He finished and flickered away. With Naruto. With Aquaman and Wonder Woman being handled by Kurama, the Resistance, with the help of Batman, Cyborg, Flash, and Shazam, were making quick work of the two armies. Naruto was sitting on the edge of a nearby ruined building, overlooking the fights below. He observed with visible glee as he saw Orm get skewered by dozens of arrows. "If you're thinking about ambushing me, don't," Naruto stated as he observed the demon Etrigan fight off a group of Amazons. "Your stealth is shit." Thawne appeared through a nearby broken wall, buzzing as he seemingly walked through it, not at all surprised that he had been discovered. "Love what you've done with the place," Naruto commented while observing the fights. "As much as I would love to take credit for this, it's not my handiwork," Thawne replied, starting to walk towards Naruto. "You saved Lois Lane," Naruto started as he turned around to face the Reverse Flash. "You purposefully let yourself be seen on the camera so that you could lure Flash here, but you did not expect to see us here, did you? How are you here?" Thawne questioned with a frown on his face. "Even in the future, not much is known about the two of you." "Who knows?" Naruto replied with a smirk on his face, letting Thawne know that he wasn't going to answer his question. "So, you said this isn't your doing," Naruto continued. "I'm guessing Flash would be the one responsible then." When Thawne didn't reply, Naruto continued, "Come on, I know you're itching to answer my question. People do love to monologue when everything is going according to their plan." "Correct." Thawne replied with a smirk. "Can you guess what he changed?" "He saved his mother," Naruto replied, having already figured out what might have happened. But why did he forget that he saved her? This time, it was Thawne who smirked. "Who knows?" Naruto shrugged, not really interested in the answer anymore. "Breaking the sound barrier causes a sonic boom," Thawne explained. "The Flash broke the time barrier, causing a time boom." "I figured that's what must have happened," Naruto replied. The ripples of distortion radiated out from the point of impact, which was the Flash saving his mother. This event shifted everything a tiny bit. It shifted the events enough, creating this Flashpoint world. Thawne exclaimed, not noticing the slight distortion as it approached him from behind. "As much as I enjoyed our talk here, it's time to set things right," Naruto said as he jumped down from the ledge he was sitting on, not making any sound as he landed. "So, if you would please stop co-opting the Speed Force and let Flash clean up this mess. That would be wonderful." "Now, why would I do that?" Thawne replied with a smirk as he faced the ocean, observing the dome of white light in the horizon. "This world is about to end and it's all thanks to the Flash. Hope his mother has a good view of it." "Oh, I wouldn't be so sure about this world ending," Naruto replied with a smirk as the glowing dome suddenly vanished. Surprised, Thawne faced Naruto with an angry expression on his face. "What did you do?" Suddenly, he jerked forward and looked down to see a bloodied hand protruding from his chest. Looking up again, he saw Naruto in front of him vanish in static. A hologram? The Reverse Flash thought. The hand was removed from his chest in a quick motion, causing him to fall face first. "This is how you ambush someone," Naruto stated coldly as the distortion fell, making him visible again. Few minutes earlier with Kurama. Kurama observed the fight between Diana and Arthur from outside the barrier. At first, both had tried to attack him. After fighting them for a few minutes, he teleported a distance away and created a barrier around the two. "I am not the one you should be fighting," he had said as the two of them tried to break the barrier. "This is a war between the Amazons and the Atlanteans. Your fates will be decided here and the victor gets this world," he exclaimed. Realizing that the two couldn't break the barrier, they set their sights on each other. "You murdered my wife Diana," Arthur exclaimed as he dashed forward and thrust his trident towards Wonder Woman. Blocking the attack with her sword, she replied, "She tried to assassinate me, Arthur. I was protecting myself." "Yet, you wear her helmet like a trophy," Aquaman replied as he pushed her away and pointed his trident at the golden headpiece she was wearing. "No, I wear her helmet as a warning," she replied as she dashed towards him with her sword raised. "I can't believe I ever loved you," Arthur seethed in anger as he blocked her sword. "You never loved me," Wonder Woman exclaimed as she kicked him in the chest. Kurama did not intervene as the fight went on. Diana seemed to be having the upper hand, especially after she managed to lop off one of Aquaman's arms. Noticing the blinking light on his wrist, he clicked a button on his earpiece. Cyborg's voice spoke through the comms. "Kurama, I've just received intel. We have learned of Captain Atom's location. He was captured a few weeks ago." "And what am I supposed to do with this information?" Kurama asked. "Captain Atom is basically like a walking nuclear reactor. He has enough energy to blow up this entire planet. According to our intel, when he was captured, Aquaman turned him into his doomsday device," Cyborg replied. "So, if he were to lose, he plans on destroying the entire planet," Kurama stated. "Correct, I have sent you the location where he is currently being kept." "I'll see what I can do," Kurama replied, a smirk forming crossing his face. Quickly contacting Naruto, he said, "We have a solution for the energy problem of our ship." "How so?" Naruto asked over his comms. "Captain Atom, I have his location," Kurama replied. "His skin should have been breached, seeing as he's been prepared as Aquaman's doomsday device. It's only a matter of time before he explodes. The energy from the explosion should replenish a fraction of our ships," Naruto answered. "Well, beggars can't be choosers." "I'll get to it then," Kurama replied as he teleported over to the coordinates provided to him. "Somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean." "Well, shit," Kurama muttered as he appeared above the ocean and started to descend onto one of the nearby shipwrecks scattered across the ocean. "It seems Captain Atom is in a submarine. Well, I guess he would be underwater, since it was Aquaman who captured him." He crouched down and put his index and middle fingers on the surface of the water, then closed his eyes, then immediately opened them in surprise and quickly teleported several miles away, just in time to see the water start to bubble and evaporate before an enormous dome of white light emerged from water's surface. "Seems like Arthur lost," Kurama commented, seeing as the doomsday device was triggered. Quickly teleporting further away, having sensed the point of origin of the blast, he started to perform a quick series of hand seals and slammed his hands on the surface of the water. "Temporal stasis." Kurama exclaimed as an enormous black magic circle appeared beneath the surface of the water, stretching for miles. "This should help," Kurama muttered as he heaved a sigh of relief. That was really close. The blast seemed to have stopped advancing, staying frozen in the water. Everything within the area of the magic circle appeared to have come to a standstill, including the ocean. The spell had frozen time itself within the limits of its area. "Now to teleport this away to our ship," Kurama muttered to himself as he teleported the dome of white light away. But Naruto. Naruto appeared near the barrier where the dead Aquaman lay, his head being cradled by a wounded Wonder Woman. He deactivated the barrier with a touch of his palm and walked towards them. "The war is over," Naruto stated as he saw Diana lay Arthur to rest. "What do you plan to do now?" "Who are you?" Diana questioned, standing up, drained from the fight, emotionally and physically. "You've met my brother," Naruto replied. "My name is Naruto." Diana observed him for a few more seconds. He looked him the blonde-haired man they were fighting earlier, just with black hair and red eyes, then around with a sad sigh. "I never planned on coming out of this war alive," Diana replied softly. "We will be going back to Themyscira." She answered his question. "What about Atlantis?" he questioned. "I don't know," Diana replied. "I never wanted this war. My hands are stained with the blood of millions, all because I couldn't let go of my pride." Wonder Woman turned around to face him, streams of tears falling from her chin. "Kill me," she requested. Naruto observed the broken demigod for a few seconds. He then turned around and started to walk away, saying, "That would not do justice to the millions that you have killed. Live. Live with the consequences of your actions and reflect upon them. That is your punishment." Soon, news of Atlantis' defeat spread, and the battlefield grew silent as the Atlanteans dropped their weapons in defeat. There were no celebrations by the Amazons. They had paid a huge price in this war as well. "What happened to Wonder Woman?" Batman asked as he saw Naruto walking towards them. "She left for Themyscira," Naruto replied. "She won't be coming back." Turning to Flash, he continued, "Reverse Flash has been dealt with. You should be able to access the Speed Force without any limitations." Flash nodded. He wanted to ask what he meant by dealt with, but he really did not want to know the answer. "Where is Kurama?" Flash asked. "He is dealing with the explosion you saw earlier," Naruto replied. "Okay," Flash replied. He wanted to ask more, but knowing Naruto, he probably wouldn't be getting any answers. "We will be leaving soon," Naruto stated as he threw a device at Batman. "That's a special kind of communicator. It will let you get in touch with me in case of emergencies." Batman pocketed the device and handed Naruto a letter. "This is for Bruce." Naruto nodded and pocketed the letter. "Do you want to say goodbye to your mom?" Naruto asked Flash, who gave a small nod. Naruto nodded and passed him a piece of paper. "Come here once you are done." Flash nodded and flashed away. Naruto turned around and faced everyone. Well, this is goodbye. We will probably not meet each other again, so take care and try not to start another war. With that, he teleported to his ship. Who is he really? Lois, who was standing a distance away, questioned Batman. A friend. Naruto teleported near his ship and walked inside to find Kurama typing away at the console. So, what's the status? Naruto questioned as he looked at the console. The power from the explosion helped in regaining some of the crucial functions of the Sidrid, Kurama replied. It's still nowhere near its full capacity, but we can make do for now. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door and Naruto went to open it. Oh, this is going to be fun, Kurama muttered as he sat on a nearby chair. Flash walked in. Surprise was clearly etched on his face. What is this? He questioned in amazement. I thought this building was a rendezvous point. I did not know you had enough time to build a base of operations here. It's not a base, Naruto replied. Well, technically, you can call it a base. Anyway, Naruto continued, this is our ship. What do you mean ship? Flash asked as he looked around the center console, seeing several monitors depicting strange symbols. Well, it's a spaceship, Kurama answered, observing the shock on Flash's face. As he looked around more, he noticed that the interior was a blend of sleek futuristic design and practical functionality. The room they were in was an expansive dome-like design bathed in soft ambient lighting that shifted ever so slightly between white, yellow, and blue. One wouldn't notice the change unless it was visually observed. And this is our command console, Naruto stated, pointing at the center of the room. Flash observed the raised circular console with numerous displays in wonder. The console's crystalline design seemed to pulse faintly, as though alive, reacting to the touch of Naruto and Kurama as they input commands. Surrounding the console were streamlined workstations, each tailored for specific roles like navigation, tactical analysis, engineering, etc. Each station was equipped with sleek touch panels and adaptive holograms. The walls and ceiling of the command center were lined with what appeared to be smooth metallic panels, but on closer inspection, he realized that they were embedded screens. Despite the advanced technology, the ambience was warm and homely, almost giving an organic feel to the room. The floor was a combination of polished metal and glowing pathways, subtly guiding movement towards the 3 hallways leading away from the console. I clearly remember walking into a destroyed building. It definitely was not a spaceship. Well, it's camouflaged, Naruto replied. This ship is very big. It would be troublesome to have it parked anywhere, so we've camouflaged it. Let's get on with it then, Kurama said, clicked a few buttons on the console, and threw a device at Flash. Flash observed a circular device with interest. What is this? It's a beacon, Kurama replied as he guided him to the hallway on the right. It will help us track you. Track me where? Flash questioned. To our timeline, of course, Kurama replied as he stood at the entrance to the seemingly endless hallway. Start running from here and enter the time stream, then stop yourself from preventing your mother's death, Kurama explained as he returned to the console. Wouldn't it be better if I did this outside? Flash questioned. I doubt I will be able to reach the required speed to enter the time stream in limited space. Don't worry, Naruto replied. The hallway has been looped. You could run for centuries and not reach its end. Okay, Flash replied, too stunned to say anything else. Well, get on with it, Kurama urged as he pointed towards the hallway. We ain't got all day. Flash nodded, got in position, and disappeared in a yellow streak. Just to review, Batman started. You broke the chronal barrier, went back in time, prevented your mother's murder, and completely changed the time stream. Nearly destroying the world along the way, Naruto added. Let's not forget that. Sounds about right, Flash replied with a sheepish smile on his face as he walked away. I have a gift for you, Naruto continued, pulling out the letter given by Bruce's father. Consider this your belated birthday present. Naruto then left, giving the man some privacy. The fluorescent lights flickered overhead, casting an eerie glow across the pristine white tiles of the biotech lab. Beakers and test tubes lined the shelves, their contents a mystery to all but the most brilliant scientific minds. In the center of the room, a hulking figure hunched over a workbench, his scaly skin glistening under the harsh lighting. You. Killer Croc turned around with a snarl, his yellow eyes narrowing as he caught sight of the caped figure standing in the doorway. How did you find me? Batman stepped into the lab, his cape billowing behind him. The Dark Knight's presence seemed to fill the room, a stark contrast to the sterile environment. When half the biotech firms in town get hit, I get curious, Batman replied in his signature monotone. His eyes scanned the room, taking in the scattered equipment and the various vials of unknown substances. You look like you've been working out, Croc. Killer Croc's muscles rippled under his thick hide as he swung his tail towards the Dark Knight. The newly acquired appendage whipped through the air, knocking over a nearby rack of test tubes. Glass shattered, spilling chemicals across the floor and filling the air with acrid fumes. Batman easily dodged the attack by jumping back, his boots crunching on the broken glass as he created some distance between them. The lab's confined space made maneuvering difficult, but the Caped Crusader was nothing if not adaptable. "The tail's new," Batman commented, his eyes narrowing behind his cowl as he assessed the situation. "Yeah," Croc replied, a sinister grin spreading across his reptilian features. He wrapped the tail around a nearby canister, the muscles in his arms bulging as he lifted it effortlessly. "I got an upgrade," he growled, hurling the container at Batman. The Dark Knight's reflexes were lightning fast. He leaped away, the canister whistling past his ear and smashing against the wall behind him. As he twisted in midair, Batman's hand moved to his utility belt, retrieving a handful of batarangs. With practiced precision, he sent them flying towards Croc's chest. The metallic projectiles clanked harmlessly against Killer Croc's hardened scales, falling to the ground like discarded toys. The reptilian villain's grin widened, revealing rows of razor-sharp teeth. "That's right, run," Croc exclaimed, his massive form lumbering after Batman as the hero dashed towards a nearby window. Glass shattered as Batman burst through, the cool night air, a stark contrast to the stuffy lab. As he fell, the Dark Knight's mind raced, formulating a plan. His hand moved to his belt once more, this time retrieving his trusty grapple gun. With unerring accuracy, Batman aimed the device at Killer Croc's chest and fired. The grapple hit its mark, embedding itself in the villain's thick hide. Using the momentum of his fall, Batman swung onto a nearby car, the vehicle's alarm blaring to life as he landed. With a powerful yank on the grapple line, Batman pulled hard, causing Killer Croc to lose his balance and tumble out of the window. The massive creature crashed into the vacant parking lot below, leaving a small crater in the asphalt. But Killer Croc was far from defeated. With surprising agility for his size, he recovered quickly, his eyes burning with rage as he charged towards Batman. The Dark Knight fired his grapple gun once more, aiming for the safety of a nearby rooftop. But as he was being pulled to safety, Croc's new tail lashed out, wrapping around Batman's ankle and slamming him into the ground with bone-crushing force. Before Batman could regain his footing, Killer Croc was upon him. The villain's knee pressed down on the hero's chest, pinning him to the ground. Croc's massive hands engulfed Batman's head, lifting him slightly off the pavement. "You know," Croc's voice was a low, menacing growl as he held Batman's head between his palms. His breath was hot and putrid, washing over the Dark Knight's face. "The problem with steroids is, I get the munchies." As Killer Croc opened his jaws wide, preparing to bite off Batman's head, a new voice cut through the night air. "Need some help?" Kurama questioned. His voice laced with amusement. He sat perched on a nearby car, his cerulean eyes gleaming in the dim light of the parking lot. With a casual flick of his index finger, an invisible force struck Killer Croc, sending the massive reptilian villain flying across the lot. Batman, bruised and battered, struggled to his feet. The dark, damp pavement beneath him reflected the city's neon lights, creating an eerie atmosphere. "I was handling it," he grumbled, his deep voice echoing in the empty lot. "Clearly," Kurama retorted sarcastically. He snapped his fingers, and the ground beneath Killer Croc erupted with a black magic circle. Soon, a bolt of lightning crashed down, electrocuting the villain and leaving him twitching on the ground. Batman's cape fluttered in the night breeze as he tucked his grapple gun back into his utility belt. "What are you doing here?" he questioned, his white lenses narrowing suspiciously. Kurama gracefully leapt off the car, landing beside Batman. "I got bored," he shrugged, a mischievous grin playing on his lips. "Naruto was busy with his meetings, so I decided to follow you around for a bit. It was fun watching you get mauled by a crocodile." "I meant what are you doing on Earth?" Batman clarified, his tone growing impatient. "Didn't you say you had something to take care of?" "It can wait. I'm taking a bit of a sabbatical from my work," Kurama replied. Suddenly, Kurama's hand shot out to the side, catching the dart aimed at his neck between his fingers. Without even a glance, he tossed it towards a nearby alleyway. The dart embedded itself in the brick wall, inches from the head of a surprised woman. Realizing she'd been discovered, the woman emerged from the shadows, holstering her gun. She approached the duo with measured steps, her high heels clicking against the pavement. "Thalia," Batman stated, a hint of recognition in his voice. Kurama turned to look at the newcomer, who wore a black skin-tight suit with a utility belt around her waist. Her long, dark hair cascaded down her back, and her green eyes held a dangerous glint. "Ah!" Kurama exclaimed in recognition, "if it isn't little Thalia Al Ghul." Thalia's eyebrow twitched, clearly annoyed by being called little. "Have we met before?" she asked, her voice cool and controlled. "We have," Kurama replied cryptically, a knowing smirk on his face. "Nice outfit, by the way." Before Kurama could continue his teasing, Batman interjected, "Why are you here?" Thalia's expression softened slightly, a flicker of emotion passing through her usually stoic eyes. "My father," she began, her voice barely above a whisper, "he's dead." "About damn time." Kurama commented, leaning against a nearby wall. That old coot has been alive for far too long than necessary. Anger flashed in Talia's eyes and her hand instinctively moved towards her utility belt. Batman, sensing the rising tension, quickly intervened. "Who killed him?" he asked, his gravelly voice cutting through the night air. Talia took a deep breath, composing herself. "Deathstroke," she replied, her voice regaining its usual coolness. "My father believed he could have been his successor, that was until he met you." Batman remained impassive, having been aware of Deathstroke's past involvement with the League of Assassins. "And now this man wants to kill us," Talia finished, her gaze shifting towards the shadows behind her. "Us?" Batman questioned, following her line of sight. From the darkness emerged a young boy, his features a striking blend of Talia and Bruce. Kurama's eyes widened in delight. "Oh!" he exclaimed in a teasing sing-song voice, "Batman has a son." Batman's jaw clenched. His voice tightened as he addressed Talia. "You expect me to believe this?" "I assure you," Talia replied smoothly, "he is yours." A ghost of a smile played on her lips as she added, "Or have you forgotten our shared moments in the moonlight?" "You had drugged me," Batman accused, his tone sharp. Talia waved her hand dismissively. "That's beside the point. He is our son." The boy, around 13 years old, stepped forward to stand before Batman. His posture was confident, almost arrogant. "Don't look so stunned, father," he said, his voice carrying a hint of a challenge. "I thought you'd be taller." Kurama couldn't contain his amusement. "He looks like a mini version of you," he exclaimed, pointing at the scowl etched on the boy's face. "He even scowls like you." Batman remained silent, his gaze fixed on the child before him. "His name is Damien," Talia provided, already turning to leave. "I'm leaving him with you. He'll be safer with you than with me." With that, she melted back into the shadows, leaving Batman and Kurama alone with the boy. As Batman continued to stare at Damien, processing this new information, Kurama chuckled. "I knew you were a playboy, but I never thought you'd be the kind to smash and dash," he teased. "Welcome to the club." Damien, ignoring the blonde man, addressed his father. "You didn't know about me?" he asked, his voice betraying no hurt at the revelation. "No," Batman replied curtly. "Mother has made me your responsibility," Damien stated, his eyes never leaving Batman's cowl. "It would appear so," Batman responded, pressing a button on his wrist interface. The low rumble of an engine filled the air as the Batmobile approached. "That isn't necessary," Damien insisted, his chin lifted in defiance. "I can take care of myself." The Batmobile came to a stop beside them, its sleek black surface gleaming under the streetlights. Batman opened the door, revealing the high-tech interior. "So can I," he replied, "but things have changed." He gestured to the passenger seat. "Get in." Damien's eyes widened slightly at the sight of the vehicle. "I'll drive," he declared, excited at the prospect of driving the legendary Batmobile, and attempted to leap over to the driver's seat. Batman caught him mid-jump, depositing him firmly in the passenger seat. "No," came the curt response, brooking no argument. As Batman settled into the driver's seat, he turned to Kurama. "I'm leaving," he stated, not waiting for a reply before the Batmobile's engine roared to life. Kurama watched as the vehicle sped away, disappearing into the night. A smirk played on his lips as he contemplated the interesting turn of events. This new development would certainly make things more entertaining. Batcave. The Batcave was dimly lit, its cavernous expanse filled with the soft hum of computer equipment and the occasional flutter of bat wings. The air was cool and damp, carrying a faint metallic scent. Kurama, his blonde hair catching the light from nearby screens, was animatedly talking to Alfred when Batman and Damien entered. As the Batmobile's engines wound down, Kurama's cerulean eyes lit up with excitement. "See," he exclaimed, gesturing towards the duo emerging from the vehicle. "Didn't I tell you?" Alfred, ever the picture of composure, nodded slightly. "It would appear so, Master Kurama," he replied, his gaze fixed on the young boy accompanying Batman. Damien strode forward, his posture radiating confidence despite his small stature. He came to a stop in front of Kurama, eyeing him with suspicion. "Who are you?" he demanded, his voice sharp and commanding for someone so young. Kurama grinned, striking a dramatic pose. "I am Kurama Uzumaki," he announced proudly, "the best mercenary bounty hunter across the universe." Batman, his cape swishing softly as he moved, approached with a questioning look beneath his cowl. "How did you get here?" he asked, surprise evident in his tone at finding the blonde in his secret hideout. "Magic," Kurama answered with a flourish, his grin widening. Batman sighed, heading towards his computer. "You were far more tolerable when we first met," he muttered. While this exchange took place, Damien had made his way to Alfred, chin held high. "Hello, Pennyworth," he stated, "I've heard of you," his tone conveying a sense of superiority. Alfred bowed slightly, unfazed by the boy's attitude. "At your service, Master Damien." Damien's eyes scanned the cave. Where are the rest of the servants? He asked, a hint of disdain in his voice. I am the sum total, young master, Alfred replied evenly. The recession and downsizing has affected everyone. The Waynes were not spared either. Damien's eyes narrowed. Watch yourself, Pennyworth. I am not so young that I do not understand sarcasm. Alfred's lips twitched in a barely noticeable smirk. Well, I am much too old to care, he replied, turning to fetch tea for Kurama. Damien then approached Kurama, crossing his arms. Are you strong? He questioned, sizing up the blonde man. Kurama flexed dramatically. The strongest. He declared, his blue eyes twinkling with mischief. That man, clearly exasperated, intervened. You can leave now, he said to Kurama. I'll handle the matter relating to Ras Al Ghul. No way. Kurama protested, bouncing on his heels. This is the most fun I've had since returning. Beat sitting around doing nothing. That man pinched the bridge of his nose. You could go back to your bounty hunting. I'm sure there are a few requests pending. Kurama waved his hand dismissively. Nah, this is much more entertaining. Damien, growing impatient, cut in. So, what's our plan, father? That man turned to his son. We do not have any plan. You're to stay here while I investigate. Damien's face darkened. I owe my grandfather a death. I will have my revenge, with or without you. We don't kill, Batman stated firmly. You don't kill, Damien retorted. I was trained by the League of Assassins. I was trained to kill. That man's voice grew stern. That makes you no different than the villains I fight. That makes me better than them. Damien shot back. Deathstroke killed my grandfather. He has to pay. Raz was a madman, Batman replied, his patience wearing thin. He was a hero. He died a hero. Damien exclaimed, his small fists clenching at his sides. Kurama, who had been watching the exchange with interest, suddenly piped up. Well, how about a bet? Batman turned to him suspiciously. What kind of bet? The boy will fight me, Kurama explained, his cerulean eyes gleaming. If he can defeat me, I'll assist him with his vendetta. As Batman opened his mouth to argue, Kurama quickly added, if he loses, he will do what you say. I'll personally make sure of Thar. Damien's eyes lit up. That seems fair enough to me, he said confidently, clearly underestimating the blonde man before him. So, how about it? Kurama pressed, looking between father and son. The cave fell silent as Batman contemplated the offer. His eyes narrowed as he studied Kurama, recalling their first encounter. While the blonde's current demeanor seemed harmless, it did not fool Batman. He knew Kurama was every bit as terrifying and powerful as he had witnessed in the fight against Darkseid. Batman knew there was no way Damien could possibly defeat him, but, on the off chance that he did win, Batman believed Kurama to be skilled enough to keep his son safe, and if his son lost, then he won't have to worry about Damien going behind his back to do something stupid. It was a win-win situation for him. Having weighed the pros and cons, Batman nodded. Okay, he agreed reluctantly. But no killing, he added firmly. Alright. Kurama exclaimed, already heading towards the cave's exit. We shall fight tomorrow morning, he called over his shoulder, on his way to pester Alfred for some food. As Kurama's footsteps faded, the cave was left in a tense silence, with Batman and Damien eyeing each other warily, both wondering what the morning would bring. What if Naruto was Atlantis and Justice League end here, and thanks for watching my video till the end.